was on super snow mode this morning. You see it's still freezing. So good morning. I'm late though. This is the Committee for Economic Development Downtown Metropolitan Planning. As you guys already know, who's here on the committee: Councilor Pat Hogan, Councilor Joe Carney, Councilor Ronnie White. Also, I see Councilor Driscoll. I believe Councilor Paniagua is on. Councilor Allen is on. And then we have the Mr. Auditor, our clerk, and from the administration, Commissioner Collins, Director Lemondola, and Deputy Commissioner Tiff, and I see Director DeShaw and others on. If I forgot you, I apologize. All right, so we can get started. Who's up first?
I'm the only one.
Okay, well, let's.
All this for me. I'm so lucky.
All this, include my tardiness for one item. All right, I'm ready.
You know how important zoning is. All right, so I've got two requests, and they're companion pieces. They are for the Plan Development Districts for United Auto, for James Rinaldi, Richmond, Van Rensselaer area, and North Geddes. So they're just expanding a very small piece of a property that fronts on North Geddes into the PDD. So there's a zone change for that small piece, and as a result, they have to amend their overall district plan. So I don't know, this might be helpful if I just hold up the map. It's a very, very small piece of property, that weird geometric shape.
It's even smaller on your screen.
Yeah. So anyways, that's it.
Any questions, Councilor Hogan? Let's start with you since.
Councilor Bay, I have no questions, and I approve of anything that Mr. Rinaldi wants to do on that in that district. It's been a great economic change down there since he's become involved. So for the better. So I'm okay with that.
That's true. He's done a lot of work there. Any other committee person have any questions? Councilor Kearney, White?
No questions.
Anyone else? Councilor Driscoll? See, this might be the easiest one ever, right? Heather? Nader, right? So I'm assuming that we're all good with this going on the agenda. Councilor Hogan?
Absolutely, yes.
All right,
Councilor Bay, could I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
There's always one, Councilor Bay.
You had to ruin it.
I did.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
That's quite okay. A few years ago, and in both the district that I represented and this district, we had the issue of this one in particular, National Grid parking on the streets. And what, if anything, since this is a commercial district and it's also residential, how do we handle it so that the taxpayers are having the opportunity to receive any parking fees, parking with the parking meters in that area?
I'm not sure exactly what are you proposing? You're proposing the installation of parking meters? I don't understand.
Well, a lot of it in that area has been with the commercial properties. Heather, I think you probably remember this conversation. Councilor Ryan had raised it with National Grid using that area, and now with this property.
I mean, what you're talking about is one particular individual complains because he can't, in my area anyways, complains because he can't park right in front of his house. It is true, Niagara, National Grid, a lot of their employees, because they don't provide for parking downtown. Of course, this has been somewhat a mute issue since COVID, park in that area. And there have been, every once in a while, there are complaints, particularly from this one gentleman, that they take up a lot of the parking and he can't park right in front of his house. So, but that's as far as it goes in that Park Avenue area. There's plenty of parking in the Park Avenue area, basically.
Nader, you're muted, Mr. Auditor.
Okay. Thank you, Counselor. I never understood what how we handle that when they come for a zoning request or something like that. Are we looking at it from the standpoint that, is it a commercial area? Is it residential? It's a combination. Are people who work in commercial, they park there all day? Same thing happens up around the university area too. So it just reminded me of that it was a question that had come up actually this past
Every
year.
area is, you're right, Counselor. City Auditor, every area is unique. This area is a mixed use area. There's plenty of parking around his particular facilities. And the problem basically stems from National Grid employees, but it hasn't been a problem this year because of COVID. But I mean, it really just centers around particularly one gentleman who consistently talks about it. So,
Okay.
but that's the only
Thank you.
person I've heard of.
I just wondered. Thank you.
Okay, so I believe we all voted to move the item onto the agenda. If there's no other questions, comments, concerns, we will adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Appreciate your patience for my tardiness.